about who Lori Harvey is.
It's so funny because I'm so quiet.
Yeah.
There's been so many stories that have been made up about me.
Recently, there have been a lot of unsettling rumors on the internet about Steve Harvey and his daughter Lori Harvey. These rumors center on her alleged relationship to Sean Diddy Combs. There is a rumor circulating in certain circles that Steve has been assisting Diddy's stage secret, often pornographic gatherings in Hollywood, for years. In return, Diddy gave Steve access to exclusive social circles. This relationship is said to have taken a bad turn when Steve, seeing that his power over Diddy was diminishing, offered his daughter Lori to him in an attempt to stay in Diddy's good graces. Despite being unsubstantiated and speculative at best, Diddy's past involvement in several controversies and legal disputes has contributed to the substantial momentum of these rumors. Furthermore, his connections with significantly younger women have drawn criticism in other situations. Many were taken aback when images of Diddy and Lori together first appeared, not just because of their stark age differences but also because Lori is the daughter of Steve Harvey, a well-known conservative and father figure. The well-known comedian, TV personality, and author Steve Harvey has a reputation for being a good-hearted family guy who often shares advice on success in relationships. His best-selling book, Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man, offered guidance to women on handling relationships and gaining men's respect. Seeing his daughter in a relationship with Diddy, who is well known for his lavish parties and lifestyle, made many wonder what was really going on behind the scenes. As these allegations spread, several people conjectured that Steve wasn't only a visitor or spectator in Diddy's world, but rather that he actively assisted Diddy in some of his more controversial, covert endeavors. In particular, rumors state that Steve may have assisted Diddy in planning certain freak-off parties where everything goes. Rumor has it that these parties are private, elitist get-togethers where some of Hollywood's biggest names indulge in questionable conduct. Steve was supposedly there to help clean up the mess and make sure that no one's reputation was damaged when things went wrong or scandals occurred. According to the most scandalous rumors, Steve thrust his daughter Lori into Diddy's circle, elevating her beyond the status of a passing acquaintance when he saw his relationship with Diddy deteriorating. According to some reports, there is unreleased video footage from these gatherings of Diddy and Lori, further supporting the idea that Lori and Diddy were close. Some people claim that this video is so explosive that not even law enforcement has access to it yet, but it may be utilized against Diddy in his current court disputes. Given his current legal troubles, rumor has it that Diddy is prepared to take down everyone who attended one of his parties or profited from his acts. This includes not only the individuals who participated in these events, but also those who assisted in planning or disguising them. According to reports, Steve Harvey is preparing for the backlash, worried that his friendship with Diddy would cause him to lose his public standing. Even though there isn't any tangible proof linking Steve to any criminal activity, the rumors are flying high, and everyone is curious to see what will happen next. The main issue at the heart of all this conjecture is what, if any, part did Steve Harvey play in this whole thing? Was he indeed engaged in such contentious activities? And would he have even gone so far as to use his own daughter as leverage to keep his position? Or are people just making connections with these rumors where none exist? It's important to note that since the speculations, Diddy and Lori Harvey have both maintained a low profile and declined to comment publicly in order to either confirm or refute the allegations. Steve Harvey, on the other hand, has persisted in concentrating on his job and shows no signs of being adversely harmed by these rumors, at least not yet. According to the most scandalous rumors, Steve thrust his daughter Lori into Diddy's circle, elevating her beyond the status of a passing acquaintance when he saw his relationship with Diddy deteriorating. According to some reports, there is unreleased video footage from these gatherings of Diddy and Lori, further supporting the idea that Lori and Diddy were close. Some people claim that this video is so explosive that not even law enforcement has access to it yet, but it may be utilized against Diddy in his current court disputes. Given his current legal troubles, rumor has it that Diddy is prepared to take down everyone who attended one of his parties or profited from his acts. This includes not only the individuals who participated in these events, but also those who assisted in planning or disguising them. According to reports, Steve Harvey is preparing for the backlash, worried that his friendship with Diddy would cause him to lose his public standing. even though there isn't any tangible proof linking Steve to any criminal activity. The rumors are flying high, and everyone is curious to see what will happen next. The main issue at the heart of all this conjecture is what, if any, part did Steve Harvey play in this whole thing? Was he indeed engaged in such contentious activities, and would he have even gone so far as to use his own daughter as leverage to keep his position? Or are people just making connections with these rumors where none exist? It's important to note that since the speculations, Diddy and Lori Harvey have both maintained a low profile and declined to comment publicly in order to either confirm or refute the allegations. Steve Harvey, on the other hand, has persisted in concentrating on his job and shows no signs of being adversely harmed by these rumors, at least not yet.
We were in his closet and he pushed me and I fell to the ground, and then he stood over me.
Fans were about to be fooled by that weak G comment. But I mean, because everything about Lori and Diddy's relationship was given romance. In fact, Lori was spotted wearing white nail polish during the trip that she took with Diddy together, which fans started to look at and wonder if it had anything to do with the rumors that he was proposing to her. However, Lori later denied these rumors in a post where she said, "I'm not engaged to stop believing everything I all read on a blog." Anything related to the statements made by Cassie in her lawsuit. Cassie accused Diddy of making her wear white nail polish in Leary during freak-offs because Diddy liked to watch how the color contrasted with the BBCS he used to hire for the encounters. And looking back, it's really odd that almost every woman in Diddy has even romantically linked to. Even his mama was spotted wearing white nail polish with him at some point. So yeah, it's got major red flags. And when asked about it, Diddy's son King Combs didn't really have a lot to say. So he said, "They're good, just be private time, that's up to them." It sounded like King was trying diligently to keep things under wraps with Lori, but even so, words still leaked out, revealing that their relationship went far beyond simple familial friendship. According to an insider, he and Lori had a fun fling. But he is still recovering and focusing on himself right now, not ready to commit to a long-term relationship, and is currently concentrating on his children. As for Lori, here's what she had to say about the whole thing. "I've noticed that a lot of things are written about you in the press. But I've always wanted to know what is the biggest misconception about who Lori Harvey is. It's funny because there's a lot of made-up stories about me because I'm so quiet. This whole relationship, and every time I meet the man, it's like I've never even met him before. Instead of full-blown stories, I've heard rumors that I once dated a father and son, which is completely untrue. I've also heard that I was a lesbian. So there have been a lot of different things, a lot of stories, and a lot of misconceptions. Do they amuse you? Well, I think they're hilarious, and I find the stories to be very entertaining, so I'll give them that, but I just let it roll. Away from my shoulder, I like that. But it seems like a cover-up. According to rumors, Diddy was using Lori for some very sinister things. Alright, before we get into all of that, let's take a moment to understand the nature of Diddy and Steve Harvey's relationship. The two first crossed paths in 2005 when they began to hang out in the same circles in Hollywood. During that time, Steve gave Diddy access to his family and his children, to the point where Steve's children regarded Diddy as family friend. Thus, it simply made everything even more bizarre. I mean, imagine trying to get with the kid you basically watched grow up while you were already a whole adult. It's giving messy. Well, however, according to insiders, Steve allowed Diddy to have that kind of access because he was Diddy's henchman. We've seen Steve act like a fanboy around too many times to count, but it goes way deeper than that. Steve is allegedly one of the minions he calls on when he needs someone to do his dirty work in exchange for granting Steve access to special whole weird parties. Some have conjectured that Steve granted Diddy permission to date Lori in order to repay debts he owed Diddy. We're not sure exactly what these debts were for, but Diddy is a very powerful figure in the industry, so you can speculate as to what Steve might possibly owe Diddy. In fact, there are rumors that Diddy used Steve's freaky footage to blackmail him into giving up his daughter Lori.
So I was laying on my back and he stood over me and he started punching me like this. He avoided my face, but
that he is defending 120 accusers in claims against the Hollywood mogul that date back more than 20 years. But you know what makes it even more horrifying? The youngest victim among Diddy's claimed 120 victims was reportedly just 9 years old at the time of the abuse, and the accusations made by these victims are abhorrent. We're talking about violent blanks or RW facilitating X with the control drug. Distribution of video recordings and blanks of minions, the attorney claims. The case he intends to submit will include several influential individuals and numerous dirty secret images, videos, and texts. He continued, saying that the list is already lengthy because of the seriousness of the case, and that before revealing the names which will shock you, we will double-check that we are correct. In this case, we will pursue the people who allowed this behavior to occur behind closed doors are the ones we will pursue in this case, regardless of who the evidence implicates. Sources, however, Steve dipped as soon as he learned about the latest round of allegations, because an insider assured him that he would undoubtedly be implicated. It seems as though C foresaw the future when he predicted that this year would see the exposure of all the freaks. As for Lori, some people think she knew what she was doing from the beginning. Someone said that both of those men are members of the same brotherhood and that she must be elevated in order to continue rising. Yes, her mother taught her the game, but they love that lifestyle and are willing to pay the price. But some people think Steve Harvey is even more shady than others, and they hold him accountable. I've always thought Steve Harvey is shady because of the unbelievable way he treated his ex-wife, so don't be surprised if he becomes involved in the scandal next. What do you think about all of this? Do you think Lori was pleased to let Steve use her for his shady games? Leave a comment below, then watch the next video. Music. Children, whom he mostly disregarded after being married to Marjorie Harvey and adopting her children. Lori used to gush about how much she loved Steve's attention and how much he made time for them to spend father-daughter bonding moments together, such as going to lunch. You took me to my favorite Japanese restaurant for one of our yearly father-daughter dates, and you just started talking to me about guys and telling me that you always supported me and that you would always be there for me, no matter what, because you loved me. Stood over me, so I was lying on my back, and he began to punch me in this way, avoiding my face but starting to hit the side of my head, and I was covering my face. He did that, and then, after he finished, because he was standing, his legs were like Saint in between me. So he stomped on my stomach, like really hard, and it was just like Jordan and then the Jing girl. Then after that the girl with the cat, and then lately Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's stepdaughter. Yeah, what did Steve really think would happen? Though expecting a tiger to change his stripes is just an unmatched level of delusion. But then again, Steve has sort of been preparing his daughter for this moment for a long time, despite not being his biological child. Anyone anywhere can see that Lori is Steve's favorite, and it's not just online that he shows his favoritism. He doesn't hide it even when it comes to his biological.